Like, I couldn't take the dog for a walk. I could walk around the house for a little bit, but after 10-15 minutes I'd have to go way back down. It could only be when it was like dark out, because it just would kill my head even more. I've had 15 roughly. That's one I received. I was at a party and I thought it'd be a great idea to try and throw my friend in the pool, and then next thing I know I was on the ground with a broken nose and my 15th concussion. I ran into a metal pole. So that was my last one. My first one was just as embarrassing. I was 11 years old and I guess I sleepwalked and I dove off my bed onto the side of my dresser and I fractured my bone here and I got my first concussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all of your 15 concussions, would you say they were not sport related? They were kind of just freak accidents?
So the first one was a freak accident, and then after that it was more so just playing hockey, playing soccer, and then boxing. And then just being a kid, right? I mean, once you box once, you think you can do it anytime, and reminder, going into field and boxing is not a great idea. Once again, woke up with my shoes off, I remember how I got there. Yeah.
What was the timeline between the 15? Like, how were they separated?
So I think I had my first documented one was when I was around 11 or 12. I was in Adam hockey, and I went to the hospital for that one. And then after that, it was just 1 year, and 8 months. And then towards the end, I think I had 4 within the time frame of less than 2 years, a year and a half. And it was just nothing crazy, just regular hit in hockey, and I hit my head on the ice, or guy's shoulder came up too high, or running into the middle pole. Like, no one in my family had one at that point, so it was kind of the first one that I went to the hospital. And then when I got there, they're like, okay, so you're gonna have headaches, this and that. The biggest thing for me was moving my eyes side to side and light. So after each one, I usually had to spend about 5 to 6 days in just like complete darkness, just staring at the ceiling, because any light would give me a massive headache. A lot of the doctors, and like the same with my friends, is avoid light, avoid anything that causes you to like have to use your head. For me, too, one of the biggest things was after the first one and continuing on, I would have a hard time walking for the first little bit because I would get really lightheaded, really dizzy, just trying to do too much too fast. So I'd have to kind of try and pace myself to not overexert myself. The first one, maybe a few days. I was young. The last one, I think I took about a solid 2-3 weeks to get just back to normal function, not exercising, nothing crazy, just being a normal human being. It took about a week to get back out into like the sunlight, going on my phone, going out with friends, or just even talking to friends on the phone without getting a headache.
So they say once you receive one concussion, you become more susceptible, and obviously you suffered a lot. So would you say that as you kept getting more, the symptoms kept getting worse?
Yeah. So when I had my first one, I didn't notice symptoms nearly as much. Like, it was more so fast recovery. By the time I had my last one 2 years ago, it took a lot longer to recover. It was a lot more painful, I would say. And then, like you said, once you get one, you get another. So I mean, even though it might not look like much, or you already had one, then absolutely go get checked out if you think for a second you have a concussion, because it doesn't take much, and you don't want to mess around with your brain. And as you go on, the recoveries get worse and worse and worse, and it takes longer and longer and longer. That's the worst part. It's just the recovery, because your whole head hurts and you can't do anything correctly. So, if you have any thought process of thinking you're experiencing symptoms, don't just Google it. Go into the hospital, go into the doctor's office, go into a walk-in clinic, and actually talk to someone who's trained in that, and let them walk you through the steps. Because you're messing with your brain. You don't want to play around with that. It is a very serious part. It's a very serious injury, and like I stated earlier, once you have one, you're so susceptible to another that if you can learn what the symptoms are, that you can be on the lookout for it. If you can learn what your recovery process is, maybe if you know someone that has one or has one in the future, you can help them out a little bit. But the biggest thing is just go to the doctor's office.